Hi, my name is Maddie Van Gilder, and this is Rocco, and today I will be demonstrating to you how to groom a horse. The first brush I'll be using is the curry comb. As you can see, it is round and it is very thick and hard. Now, the curry comb is used to get all the old dirt and sweat from underneath their coat up to the surface. So when I use the curry comb, I'm going to start up top and I'm going to go in a circular motion, making sure I get their chest, down their legs, behind their legs, on the inside, and then their back, girth area, hindquarters, and the same thing, really watching their hindquarters just to make sure I'm not in a bad position where if Rocco were to kick, I couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Down the leg. And even with the hard brush, I can lightly go over their face. Now sometimes a horse doesn't always appreciate their face being brushed, so you just kind of have to watch their attitude as you do it. So I'm just going to kind of tell Rocco, like, hi, I'm here, and I'm going to take it and lightly go over his face with it. Not pressing down too hard. Getting around their eye. The next brush I will be using is a soft brush. The soft brush helps get the top coat really clean and shiny and get all the extra dust off. Now, when I use the soft brush, I'm going to use it the same way I use the hard brush, with long, straight motions and flicking my wrist. I don't want to use circular motions like I did with the curry comb. So, same thing, starting up at the top and working my way down. Working down the leg, using the flicking motion of my wrist, really making sure I get all the areas. Same thing, watching the hindquarters. And now with the soft brush, I really like to go over their face. And because it is a little bit softer, a lot of the times they're a lot more accepting of it. Hi, Rocco. I'm getting both sides. And that is how I use the soft brush. Now I'm going to use the mane and tail comb. The mane and tail comb can be thought of a lot like a human's brush, and that's how we're going to kind of brush his mane and tail. When I brush his tail, I'm going to slowly run my hand on his hindquarters, making sure he knows I'm back here. And now when I do brush his tail, I don't want to be standing behind him. I'm just going to slowly bring his tail over to the side, just so that I'm safe and I'm not standing directly behind them. When I brush their tails, I like to start at the bottom and kind of work my way up, because then you pull out less hair. Just like that. Bring it over to each side. And his tail is nice and soft and smooth when I'm finished. Just like that. My comb should be able to just run right through it when I'm done. Perfect. And now I'm going to brush his mane, walking forward and in front of him. And same thing, kind of starting in the middle and working my way down. And I always like to go over it a second time, just so I know that I have it nice and straight and flat. And that is how you brush their mane and tail. Now I'm going to use the hoof pick. The hoof pick is used to pick out their feet, to get out all the dirt that may be mounded up in there, so that it could potentially make them step wrong. And this way, when you go to work them or after you work them, you have a clear foot so they can step easily. When I go to pick his feet, I'm going to be standing so I'm facing back towards his hindquarters, and I'm going to ask him to lift his leg up, just like this, and taking the hoof pick, I'm going to use a flicking motion out. So I'm going to slowly set it down in the dirt and then flick out, clearing all of the dirt out. And he does have lead in his foot, so I'm just going to go around the lead, getting it as clean as I can. So his foot is nice and clean. Now I'm going to do it to this front leg, the other front leg, and the hind legs. So when I do a hind leg, I want to just make sure I'm still staying safe, being able to watch him facing back. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to flick and get all the dirt out. This also helps, especially if they don't have pads on, to keep thrush from forming, which is a fungus. And there we go. Lastly, I'm going to use a towel. A towel can help get all the extra dirt that you didn't get off with your brushes and really make for a shiny coat, especially if you're going to show or even just for a nice ride. So same thing. If I'm just trying to sweep away extra dirt, I'm just gonna bring the towel down, really get all the dirt that I can. And you can even do this to their face, but just make sure when you do it that you don't cover all their eyes or cover their nose entirely, because they may have a reaction and freak out about it. So just caution. And Rocco really likes it. If you come back from riding your horse and your horse is really sweaty, you can also use a towel to help cool them out faster. Now with this technique, you're going to want to do a circular motion like you did with your curry comb, and the same thing, work your way down. And a few spots where you really want to make sure that you get really well is the girth area, because if you let sweat dry there, they could get rubs, or underneath their fetlock, because if sweat builds up here, you can get scratches. Another area that you really want to make sure that you get is in between their hind legs, because they can get foamy, and then it also can cause rub marks if you let the sweat dry there. And really make sure that you stay away from him and not standing directly behind him when you do it, because if you were to kick, you don't want to be in the direct line of fire. And same thing with the back legs, is under the fetlock, you really want to make sure you get all the sweat there so it doesn't cause scratches there either. And that's simply how you can use your towel before you ride and after you ride. A few things to remember is when you do groom a horse, you do it before and after you ride, and you do it to both sides, but just for demonstration purposes, I did it on one side today. Thank you for watching How to Groom a Horse with me and Rocco, and I hope you enjoyed it.